Phillips Lovecraft, and today's question comes to us from Jamie, who brings to my attention a rather curious detail of which I'd hitherto been completely unaware. Apparently, if you're viewing this on the YouTube network, to my left, you will be able to see a series of recommended videos. Now, I don't know who's making these recommendations, but I suspect some sort of algorithm whose complete lack of animus would make me very suspicious of any suggestion, but that's neither here nor there. The most common type of video Jamie has recommended are videos exploring the Victorians and their rather morbid preoccupations. Now, she finds these to be rather quaint and curious, but notes that many of her contemporaries recoil at the subject matter, indeed refer to them as nightmare fuel. Thus, she wants to know whether or not we are living in a more fearful age. Is this generation lacking the moral vigor and stern of our Victorian forebears, or is something else going on? Now, I am an incurable romantic, and as such, I love nothing more than sticking it to modernity with its endless industrial and commercial obsessions and complete lack of what I consider a poetic soul. However, I've also been around long enough to know that there is nothing more tedious than an old man complaining about how kids these days just don't know any better. And so, I believe it boils down to the subjectivity of fear. Fear is, of course, a universal emotion, but what triggers it is not always such. There are, of course, exceptions. I think everyone is afraid of the dark, or of unknown, or of starfish, but when it comes to other specifics, culture matters. Take the Victorians. Much of their art, much of their culture was obsessed with death because death was a part of their lives in a much more banal and commonplace fashion than it is now. It did not have the same sting as in these modern times. And I think that you can find parallels, things that we all take for granted now that would terrify a Victorian, such as the teeming concrete jungles of the urban sprawl, or these unmanned aerial vehicles that bring hot death from above, or Michelle Obama. And so, I think it's less useful to try to compare ourselves with our forebears, as tempting as it often is, and rather we should try to learn from them, see how they overcame their fears to accomplish great things, and we should strive to do likewise. And we have the added benefit of not being nearly as riddled with syphilis as they were. As always, I'm Howard Phillips Lovecraft. Thank you.